With Wave 4 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, we have now gotten the revelation that there are at least 5 more characters on the way for the Booster Course Pass. So with the inclusion of Birdo, they added an entirely new side column that has 5 more question marks, strongly suggesting that 5 more characters are on the way. So, who are these characters going to be, and when might we see them? Well, that's what we're talking about today.
Hey, listen!
Welcome everyone, this is Andre's Restart, and yes, we are doing our predictions for the 5 remaining characters in the Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now these are my predictions, I don't know what's for sure going to happen, so of course take it with a grain of salt. I very much want to hear what kind of characters you guys think we'll see for the Booster Course Pass. But let's just dive into the different things impacting my predictions here. So firstly, how will they go about distributing these characters? There are 5 characters left and only 2 waves. So are they going to squeeze them into those 2 waves, or are they going to handle things a bit differently? Some are speculating that this might be hinting at more waves to come afterwards. I don't think so. I think at some point or another we do have to cease the content for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that came out back in 2014 if we account for the original Wii U release, and then hopefully move on to the next Mario Kart, maybe not immediately after with all this new content, but allow for some space and then move on to the next big Mario Kart game. So I do think they need to stop adding content. Besides, they promised us 6 waves, which doubles up the amount of tracks in the game. I think they've given us a pretty good amount of content for the price we've paid, so I'm not expecting any more tracks to be added beyond waves 5 and 6, not for free at least, and again, I think at some point you just have to get ready for the next game. So I don't think more waves are coming. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to make sure all 5 of these characters are out by the time Wave 6 releases. So what I'm suggesting here is that perhaps a couple of these characters release outside of the release days for Waves 5 and 6. Why would they do this? Well, this is going to be potentially a fairly big Mario year. It's at least a fairly big Mario first half with the Mario Bros. Movie. So, wouldn't shock me if maybe next month with the release of the movie, they release another character as cross-promotion for it. So, who could be a character that would function as cross-promotion for the movie? Well, we know that they are adding characters based off past Mario Kart games. But I do think this would include Tour, because they told us that they would be adding past Mario Kart tracks, and there are quite a few Tour tracks. So I do think Tour counts here as a past Mario Kart game. And there's a character that's pretty prominent in the Mario Bros. Movie that isn't in the roster for Mario Kart 8 yet. And that's Kamek. Kamek is the right hand to Bowser in the Mario Bros. Movie. They have a fairly significant role from what we've seen. I think they're probably the best bet as a cross-promotion character for the Mario Bros. Movie. So it really wouldn't shock me if this character releases this April alongside the movie as cross-promotion. There are certainly other characters that they could potentially release that might also function as cross-promotion because they may have some sort of reference or cameo in the movie, but Kamek, from what we've seen so far, is absolutely the most prominent character that hasn't been included yet. But thinking about potential cameos that could be added to the roster, one character is Pauline. We've seen some imagery suggesting that Pauline might actually be in the movie, or at least something that looks like her. And regardless, Pauline is a fairly popular character in the Mario Kart Tour roster. She has a lot of different alternative skins and costumes. She is a character that is beloved and has a long history with the Mario brand, so I would say that Pauline has a pretty darn good chance to be added as one of these 5 characters. But stepping away from characters that may be in the Mario Bros. Movie for a bit, who else could be added to this DLC that would be a past character that would make sense? There's a few options, but I wouldn't say there's a lot. There aren't too many unique characters that haven't been added yet. And I think that's something that's worth noting here. I'm assuming that we're getting just unique characters. They could give us another Mario with some different costume or something like that. I personally would find that a little disappointing. I would prefer a whole new character, but it is something that should at least be noted. I'm going to assume though that we are just getting unique characters, because another Cat Mario or Fire Mario just wouldn't hit as well as, say, something like Petey Piranha. Petey Piranha, who's in Mario Kart Tour, who's in Double Dash, has a little bit of a history there, I think would make pretty good sense to be added here. Now, if we don't get Petey Piranha, I could see maybe the Bomb King instead, but considering that Petey Piranha has more history in Mario Kart, I'm going with good old Petey. Now, I can kind of envision that with the Mario Bros. Movie, they will add one character, so then there'll be Birdo and let's assume Kamek, and then there'll be 4 characters left. I just brought up Pauline and Petey Piranha. I can see them being included in a wave, maybe Wave 6. And I realize what you might be wondering here, why are you jumping to Wave 6 and skipping Wave 5? Because I feel that there may be a game coming out around the time they release Wave 5 where these characters could function as strong cross-promotion. That's right, not only am I predicting Mario Kart DLC characters in this video, but also a whole other game that's coming to the Nintendo Switch potentially this year. And I've been very hesitant to make this prediction because I'm just not sure when it's going to happen, if it's this year or next year, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that in the second half of this year, which right now is completely vacant, Nintendo hasn't announced anything yet, I'm gonna say we are getting a Donkey Kong game. A brand new Donkey Kong game. So, considering that we may be getting a Donkey Kong game, they have all these other Donkey Kong things happening. The Donkey Kong world is largely prevalent in the Mario Bros. Movie. They are building up the expansion to the Donkey Kong Park. They definitely want to market Donkey Kong here. So I think a game is around the corner. I think we could see that in the second half of the year, and as some cross-promotion, introduce some Donkey Kong characters in Wave 5 for the Mario Kart DLC that might be releasing relatively close to this possible Donkey Kong game. So, I think the last 2 characters will be Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong. They're both in Mario Kart Tour. Diddy Kong has Diddy Kong Racing. Donkey Kong's always been there. Even if we don't get Dixie Kong, Diddy Kong feels like almost a crime that he's not in Mario Kart yet. So I definitely think at least Diddy Kong is coming, even if there's not some sort of crazy cross promotion for a Donkey Kong game this year. But I think both Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong would function as a pretty good pair to add for a particular wave, and I'm going to assume that's going to be Wave 5 of this Booster Course Pass. So to summarize, I think there's going to be a cross-promotional character added alongside the release of the movie, and I think that's going to be Kamek given his prevalence in the Mario Bros. Movie. So then we'll have 2 of the 6 new characters added, Birdo and Kamek. Then I think we'll have to wait a bit for Wave 5, and then with Wave 5 there will be a Donkey Kong game coming out around that time. So as additional cross-promotion, we will get Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong added with Wave 5 for the Mario Kart DLC. And then to close things out for Wave 6, I think we're going to get fan favorites, Pauline and Petey Piranha, to close things out. And I think people are going to be pretty darn happy with that roster. Are there a couple characters here that maybe could be added instead? Yeah, I think some people might argue for Funky Kong, some people might argue for King Bomb, but I think most people might be pretty happy with my selection here. If you disagree or if you have other ideas, let me know in the comments below. Anyways everyone, this is Andres Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.